Hi everybody. I'm going to show you really quickly all the steps to take to get onto the Ebscohost library database. This is like what we did in class, except you can look at it here whenever you want, because there are a couple steps and it could get confusing if you don't remember all the different parts. So the first thing you do is go to the elcamino.edu website. This is all easier if you're here on campus, but if you're off campus, you can still do it. You might just need to log into MyECC to make it work. So to get to the Ebscohost database, go here to the search tab, and you can see that I already have a bunch of stuff here. I'm just going to type in Ebscohost, and the first thing that comes up should be this, and that's all you really need. So go ahead and click there, and you'll have the A to Z list of databases. Now it could be a little intimidating just because there are so many options. But the good news is that you only really need to look for one, and that's Ebscohost Academic Search Premier. This is really going to be all you need. In other cases, for other classes, you might look for other things, right? Especially if you're in a health class or a particular science class. But for most things, most research papers, this is really all you need. So once you click there, it'll load this site right here. Now, like I said, if you're off campus, you might need to enter a password first, and that'll just be your regular MyECC username and password. If you're on campus, it's just a little faster and a little easier. Now, before you type in anything here, you want to select Limit Your Results and click on Full Text. That's just to make sure that if it finds a great resource, it's not going to tell you that you have to drive to the UCLA library to pick it up, because that'd be upsetting. So then go over here also to scholarly peer-reviewed journals. This is the whole point. These are those expensive subscriptions that the school really provides for free. So without this, it's just like using Google. It's not that great. Okay, so now we're just going to use the search bar like in Google, but it's going to find us some better, more reliable, and more accurate sources. So here you want to do search terms, and you might have to play around a little bit to get the right stuff that you're looking for. We're not doing this in our class, but here, if you were doing a research paper about self-driving cars and the ethics and stuff like that, we could just do that. And here the good thing is that we have a lot of results. That's really good. Sometimes you'll only have 6 or 7, which isn't as good. So here, notice that we have a lot of things. So ethics of accident algorithms for self-driving cars. This could be pretty good because it looks like it's all about ethics. Autonomous vehicle regulation. A hierarchical detection method in external communication of self-driving cars. So what you're going to notice is some of these are written for experts, and they'll use a lot of stuff that, hierarchical detection basically means, are you detecting things in a hierarchy of how important they are, or are you looking for example, are you going to try to avoid a person more than a stop sign or something like that? Robot ethics, I like this one. So basically what you do is you look for one that looks interesting, and you'll click on it right here. Now, once you're here, it'll give you an abstract, and this is what you want to read first before reading the whole thing, because it usually gives you an idea about what's going to be in the article, and it'll also let you know what the focus is. So if your thing is all about self-driving cars and whether people are going to buy them or not, this really probably wouldn't be your focus. But if you're going to write an article about how self-driving cars should be regulated or how they make decisions in terms of who to save when they're crashing, stuff like this, this would be really good. So if you have this here, to look at the full text, you'll just click on PDF full text. That might take a second to load. But here we are, and this is because we have the full text available. We can see the whole thing here. You don't necessarily even have to get up, which is really, really nice, especially if it's 4 a.m. the day before your essays due. So what you'll see here is that usually you should be able to copy and paste stuff directly. Be careful with it because there might be some formatting errors and stuff like this. You'll have to check, but this could save you some time in copying down quotes. Now, if you find some evidence in here that's really good, it's really specific, it's really helpful for your argument, you want to use it, but you also need to cite it in your works cited page. And you could follow the steps that we practiced in class. In fact, you're going to need to anyway to check it, but to save some time, you can use the cite feature here. I'm sorry, not S-I-T-E, but C-I-T-E. So citing for your works cited page. on this little bar to the right, you have this little yellow one that says Cite, and if you click on it, it'll cite it for you using different formats. Now, the one thing you want to do is make sure that you're not doing the Brazilian one or the medical one, because that's not associated with our class. We're not in Chicago, you're not at Harvard yet. And here, MLA, that's us. So you can copy and paste this citation here in your Works Cited page. Now, it will not be perfect right away. You're going to have to go in and change some of the formatting, but this will save you a lot of time. Probably it would take, 3 or 4 minutes to do this whole thing just based on finding the information and putting it in the right order. And if you do this and then make changes, it takes about 30 seconds. So if you multiply that by 5, you're saving some pretty serious time. So this is how to use Ebscohost. And this is how to get that extra scholarly information that you really need for your research paper. If you have questions, of course, feel free to email me anytime. Talk to me during, before, or after class, or in my office hours. Talk to you next time.